Hello people, Jeff the King here with Team Critical Trigger, and welcome to this, my Cardfight Vanguard Nova Grappler deck profile. And, well, we'll get just straight into it. There's some weird choices that you can probably see from above right now that I've put in here, and we'll get to it eventually. But we'll start off with the Grade 0 lineup. We have here 6 stand triggers, which are 4 Battle Riser, 2 Turbo Riser. Any of these 6 will be your starting Vanguard. They all do the same thing. It doesn't matter if you have 4 Turbo Riser and 2 Battle Riser in your deck instead of this way. It doesn't matter. They do exactly the same thing. This is just common. This is rare. So it's all down to personal preference. I think Turbo Riser looks better, but I'm addicted to the shiny, so I've got 4 Battle Riser in. What these do is their stand trigger. If they are rode upon, they go to the rear guard, and when they boost a unit, they boost it by an extra 1000 and then bounce themselves back to the deck. So these are recyclable stand units. If you draw them, you probably want to put them back in your deck, depending on obviously how many guards you have in your thing. I just hid one there, it doesn't matter. Depending on how many guards you actually have in your hand, obviously. We have 6 critical triggers because this deck's all about the offensiveness. We want this deck to hit hard and hit fast. This guy, this lady here, no effect. This guy on top, Red Lightning, he has an effect. It's not exactly amazing. If he's on the rear guard, you can take him, put him in your soul and unflip a damage. I've used it once or twice, it comes in handy, but it's not amazing. And for heal triggers, the standard, I'm thinking about taking out one of these heal triggers though and putting in a 3rd Battle Riser, so that I'll have 7 stands, because stand triggers in this deck, very, very important. Next, grade 1s, we have 4 8k vanillas, because 8k vanilla boosts, you always want 4, let's face it. 4 Claydol Mechanic, this guy, when he's put onto the rear guard, you can unflip a damage in your damage zone. Very useful effect. I'm a bit iffy about running free, but I'm also a bit iffy about running free shout. This is Screaming Dancer, and now to shout, you rest this unit, discard a card, draw a card. Very awesome if you draw him. If you go first and draw him in your first turn, this card can make so much difference, it's unbelievable. That's why I'm still running free, and as a 7k booster, he's not too bad, but I'm still iffy. One of these or one of these will be going out to put in a 3rd or the perfect guard. Ditch card, your Nova Grappler isn't hit this turn. Very amazing card. I need a 3rd. I don't have one yet. 3rd will be going in. I'm just iffy whether it's this one or this one. I'm thinking at the moment it'll be Claydol Mechanic, but I'm always half and half about it. 3 of my other grade 1, which is Amero, which is a Kagero card. You may find this a bit weird, I think not so much. At the moment, most clans have one of these cards, but at the moment, Kagero is one of the only really ones that's got it out in England. I live in England, by the way. This you boost. When you boost, it can boost anything from any clan, and when the boost hits, you can discard a card and draw a card. That's why I run 3 of these. A very, very good card for draw power, and obviously, there's no Nova Grappler version of this yet, or I'd be running that. 2 of the 10k Interceptor NGM, I think it is, prototype. And I'm not too fond of this. I want to take these both out and put in 2 more, which I don't own yet, King of Sword, which is the 10k vanilla for this deck, which is an amazing, amazing card. 10k vanillas I always run 4 myself. Hungry Dumpty, 2 of these. When this is put in the rear guard, does the exact same as this Claydol Mechanic. It unflips a damage. Very, very useful because of this card, which is 4. Count that, all 4 of this card want to be in every Nova Grappler deck ever. This card is like my favourite card in all time. That's by my opinion, obviously. You don't have to run this, I just think you should. And this is Brutal Jack, Genocide Jack in all other countries, which is much cooler name, so we'll call him Genocide Jack. Counterblast 1, he loses restraint, so he can attack this turn. Grade 2, but at 11k attack. My camera's not that good. And when he is Vanguard, so if you ride this guy for that 1 turn when you're on grade 2, he's basically not going to get blocked because he gains an extra 5000 when he's boosted. Broke. Such a good card. And 2 Magician Girl Kiara. When she hits, you counterblast 2 and draw a card. I don't really like that effect in most decks. In this deck, because of all these unflippy dudes that I have, I find it useful. 3 Lionheat. When as a Vanguard, if he hits, you can counterblast 2, stand anything as a rearguard. If he hits, counterblast 2, stand a grade 1 or lower. Very, very, such a good card. I love this card so much. And 2 Mr. Invincible. He can soul charge 1 to unflip a damage. That's all you really care about. His other effect is if he hits, you can soul blast 8, counterblast 5, stand all your units, very very good effect. Chances are you won't get it off then, but unflipping a damage every single turn is bloody amazing, trust me. And my last grade 3, bit weird, Stealth Dragon Voidmaster. I love this card a bit. One downside is only 9k. This can be troublesome sometimes. It can be a bit of a problem. But as a rear guard grade 3, it just does not get better than Stealth Dragon Voidmaster. Well, Dragonicozlon gets better than Stealth Dragon Voidmaster, but second is this. This is the second best grade 3 rear guard you can have, in my opinion. Again, as a Vanguard, it can go up to 12k if you've got more cards in your hand than your opponent. As Vanguard or Rear Guard, this is all we care about, this being on Rear Guard. When it hits Counterblast 1, if you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you can make them discard a card. You have no idea how useful that is. Basically what that means this card does, is it means they always will guard. No matter what, when I try to hit with this, they will guard him. Because they guard him, they lose a card. They don't guard him, they lose a card. So, you think about, in terms of Vanguard, sometimes as Rear Guard you will just take the hit so that you can, let's say, guard the Vanguard, because they might double crit your ass and kill you in one turn. It's happened to me, and it can be annoying. So most of the time they'll try and save their guards for something more important, but because this guy makes them guard, they can't purposely take the hit, because they're going to lose a card anyway, which, trust me, I have played this against a few guys, and every single person that's faced this card has said it's the most annoying card in all of history. And trust me, it is. It's very annoying and very, very good. If you can fit this in a deck, run it. This card is in here simply because I can unflip the damage every turn, so I can keep getting his effect off. With, you know, Mr. Invincible and my flippy undamaged dudes here. And I have these. When he attacks and they guard him, and they're like, oh, thank God he didn't discard a card from my hand, but I wasted the card anyway, and then I attack with my Vanguard and hit a stand unit, their face sometimes starts to drop. They're not very happy when that happens. And this is why I don't run draw units. Number one, I hate draw units, well, draw triggers, because they only have 5k shield, something about that. It's just, I don't like it. Number two, I use him to draw, and him to draw. Why do I use these two to draw? Simply because you discard a card to draw a card. Means they don't give you extra cards, they get you through your deck faster, but they don't make your hand any bigger, which means this guy's more likely to hit off, and this guy hitting off is something I want to happen very often. Well, I don't care about hitting him off, I care about him having the ability to hit off, because that makes them fear for their life, and they guard against him with everything they've got, basically. Such a good card. This is like my first deck ever, by the way, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I entered my very first tournament ever this weekend with it, came 5th, got prizes, was pretty happy. So that's my Nova Grappler deck profile. This is the very first video for Team Critical Trigger. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We'll be bringing more to you, and goodbye.